Good morning, yeah. Hey, hope you can make it outside today. Move your body. Definitely over that arthritic nerve pain from last week. It's gone. Woke up yesterday feeling really good, but it was my rest day. Today's technically my rest day, but I feel so goddamn good. We're gonna do a disciplinary session. Just gonna do a warm up and follow along. Move your body. You got to. You know, all kinds of obstacles over here, so I'm just gonna hit everything. Let's do it. We'll do a ride along first. All right, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And be nice to yourself.
The human body uses between 0.8 and maybe 2 grams per kilogram of protein per day. That's its max. And yeah, that's a bit of a range. It depends on what you're doing physically. But that's the max that gets used for nutrition. Anything over that goes down the energy pathway and causes harm, particularly if you're in glucosis, where you're using sugar as your primary fuel source, and your liver has to create new sugar from protein. In a fat-adapted ketogenic person, the ideal place, the place the body should get sugar from, is glycogen and then glycerol. And remember, you've got 3 fatty acids and a glycerol backbone that occurs in fat, which comes from your fat cells. That glycerol becomes sugar. It shouldn't come from amino acids. You take your height and you look for a BMI somewhere between 21 and 25. And that's how much protein you should be consuming on average. Especially if you're in ketosis, you need even less protein. So our focus on protein is almost as harmful as our focus on sugar consumption. And if you've got gout, if you've got kidney stones, if you've got problems such as that, and if you can't get into ketosis and you're not eating carbohydrates, it may be that you're eating too much protein. I have a little phrase where I say, protect your protein with fat. Fat spares protein because it gets you into ketosis and fat-adapted ketosis. And if your insulin levels are low and you're burning fat, protein goes down the nutrition arm, and that's what we want. So eat a good spectrum of protein. Eat it from a real animal or a real plant if you have to. Don't consume it from a box or a bottle or some shake or shot that somebody is manufacturing and trying to sell you for profit. That's not protein, guys. That's just sugar in disguise. Eat protein from animal sources and eat a small amount, and you're going to be healthy.
Will optimize muscle mass and muscle quality. So again, it's very important to focus on protein and prioritizing protein as well as exercise. And that's what's really interesting from this study. From the title here is the effects of an 8-week time-restricted feeding 16-8 protocol on basal metabolism, maximal strength, body composition, inflammation, and cardiovascular risk factors in resistance-trained males. So essentially what this study found is that during a 16-8 protocol, the individuals who were embarking on that protocol did not lose muscle mass because they were prioritizing protein as well as resistance training. And so I think it's just important to underscore the importance of this for long-term weight maintenance. It's great if you're preparing for a wedding or some sort of event that's coming up and you want to fast a lot and so forth. But remember, optimize protein about 1.6 grams per kilogram of ideal body weight per day. If you're in a state of potentially anabolic resistance because you're sedentary or you're over the age of 65, you might need to bump that up a little bit to about 2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. But essentially, what studies show is optimizing protein and increasing resistance training can help prevent the weight loss coming from muscle and help sort of pivot the amount of weight that you're losing, increasing the amount of fat mass that is being lost and preserving muscle mass on the body, and even possibly increasing that, because this study found, again, that people who, and these were trained athletes, they were able to prioritize the preservation of muscle and increase strength while they were compressing their feeding window and eating just 8 hours per day. And so I think in the standard general population who isn't resistance training, a much larger proportion of weight loss may come from muscle if they're not prioritizing protein and resistance training. So hopefully that was the take home from this video.
Really, my knees, I think they took 2 years to get better.
Really?
That's how you start the weekend. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.